Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Unpopular Reviews, the wrestling show podcast. I am BigDaddyCool. I'm joined here by Shades himself, the executive consultant. And we are going to be reviewing the latest wrestling news of the last 7 days, as well as, we are live right now during WWE Raw. We've got 45 minutes left on the show, so we'll be bringing you the latest and greatest from Raw live. Chris, anything else that we should be chatting about this episode?
Yeah, we should be talking about it. Oh, man, we got Raw right now. We got SmackDown this past Friday, Collision this past Saturday, Dynamite this past Wednesday, NXT on Tuesday. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about that we're going to talk about throughout the rest of this week. Executive Consultant here, BigDaddyCool, Unpopular Review Wrestling Podcast. Let's do this.
That's right. We'll see you on the other side. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Unpopular Reviews, the wrestling show podcast. Thank you for joining us again. If you tuned into our show last week and you're back for more laughs, we'll bring it to you. We'll bring you your latest wrestling news with a lot of laughs and love, maybe some tears, with a tear in my eye. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, lots to talk about. The Judgment Day looks like they're breaking up, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll Cody Rhodes and Brock.
They look like they want to break up every faction, right? Didn't I see a little bit of dissension in Imperium also when that wasn't Ludwig. Who was it? Giovanni Vinci took the L. Like, those are three of their strongest factions right there. Now, we didn't even talk about Damage Control because on SmackDown, they look like they're having issues too. So I don't know what WWE is doing. I felt like they were going kind of factionless, kind of AEW in the beginning, and now they're trying to break them up. What's going on?
Maybe that's the sign that Vince is back. He's like, you got too many factions. And then he's going to cut them all out. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. We'll talk about Vince McMahon and the rumors that he's coming to SmackDown and Raw and chopping things up, whether we believe it or not.
They were in Madison Square Garden. If he even goes to these places, I never understand. The man owns the company. Well, he doesn't own the company anymore, but you know what I mean. Like, there's nothing wrong with him being there. He can be there. Like,
That's right. I mean, the guy lives in New York, right? Or near New York in Connecticut. It's like 45 minutes away. The way that Vince probably drives, he'll on his motorcycle, he'll probably get there in 30 minutes.
Does he drive or does he get driven around?
I mean, a couple years ago, didn't he fall off his motorcycle and then the dude no-sold a car accident? Like, he just got up and walked away. I don't know anything
about that. You schooling.
Oh yeah. Oh, you should look it up. It happened like maybe I want to say like 6 or 8 years ago. Vince got into an accident, and somebody took pictures of Vince. He got out of the car and was just totally no-sold the whole accident. Look it up. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, man, I guess we can start right there. Last week we saw Raw end with the tease that, Damian Priest wanted to cash in. I know that you love when Money in the Bank briefcase winners, holders, whatever you want to call them, they tease a cash in every week. Because I don't know if you know this, Damian Priest can cash in at any time, Chris.
You just hold the briefcase like this and it's supposed to explain everything.
And he was going to cash in last week on Seth Rollins, but it was his own boy that ruined it, Finn Balor. And they got into each other's faces. Really interesting stuff, especially with the fact that Dom made a pedigree because of it. And you had Rhea in between, boys, what are you doing?
Rhea trying to be the voice of reason.
I know it's interesting to me. I don't know about you, but it was interesting to me. I loved it. Where do you think right now? Like, I know Judgment Day started with Edge, I want to say about 12 to 18 months ago. Where does Judgment Day as a faction land for you in, I guess, the ranking of wrestling factions today?
Oh, well, wrestling factions today, they're like a solid number 2 or 3. They're definitely top 5, and I can say that because there are a lot of factions out there. But Judgment Day, when Rhea Ripley says Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw, I completely agree. I think they're the most entertaining part of Monday Night Raw. So I hate to see them break up. I think they're really good, and I think they need to continue.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of them breaking up. I think there was always a rumor that they were going to add more.
Yeah, there was a rumor they were going to add that JD McDonough.
Who?
Jordan Devlin.
Oh, okay. I don't know either one of those two.
Yeah, I felt like you were going to say that. I set myself
up. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously they're working towards a Finn Balor versus Damian Priest match, but
they were feuding with each other before the Judgment Day came about.
Oh, were they? I don't remember that.
Yep, they definitely were feuding before the Judgment Day thing came about. Actually, I think it was Finn Balor who took the title from Damian Priest, if I remember correctly, the United States Championship.
Interesting.
I really would love to see The Miz lose this match. He's not won a match all year.
That's right. The Miz is in that stage of his career where he's putting everybody over.
Too much.
And now it's Tommaso Ciampa's turn. He's back from injury. Right now we are live watching Raw, and it's The Miz versus Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso's still looking in good shape. Let's talk about Tommaso Ciampa for a minute, Chris. Why the singles run?
As opposed to what? What should he be doing?
Teaming up with Johnny Gargano?
Johnny 205 Live is currently injured.
Oh, are they just the same guy and they just swap bodies?
Johnny Gargano's been injured for a couple months now. And actually, not for nothing, I know Johnny Gargano's a famous wrestler. I mean, a favorite wrestler of a lot of people, but he gets injured quite often. But
he does.
And so does Ciampa.
You know who doesn't?
The Miz.
The Miz. That's right. See, look at that. Great minds think alike.
Well, I mean, it's well documented. The Miz is like my favorite wrestler, and I just don't like how they disrespect him.
What? When you say they don't respect him, who are you talking about?
Well, I shouldn't say they don't respect him, because I always say that as long as you're on TV, that means they have a lot of admiration for you. And he is on Raw like every single week. He was the host of WrestleMania. But the people who book these things always have him lose. Why is he always losing? He is a first ever 2-time Grand Slam winner. He's made a bit of WrestleMania. There's not much he has not done. First ballot Hall of Famer. How does he lose every freaking match? I'm not saying he has to win the majority of them, but lose every single match. And he's arguably your best heel in the company.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. When you said Tommaso Ciampa is just stomping a mud hole. Yeah, what is this, a no DQ match?
It is a no disqualification match.
They got to, give him a shining wizard with a trash can lid. Oh, another one. Miz, for a long, long time, Miz has gotten shit on by the internet wrestling community as not being good. And I, for a long time, have thought that's an unfair statement. I don't think people are really watching his matches. Not only that, but the guy has a long tenured career, over 10 years, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm. He joined the company, I believe, in 2005, if not 6. Actually, might have been before that. 2004.
And the guys, besides, I think, leaving, he's only missed, I think, 1 or 2 WrestleManias. One was because his wife was pregnant and going to give birth.
No, he still made that WrestleMania.
He still made that one, right? See, my memory fails me.
4, yeah.
The guy's legit. Like, the guy is a workhorse. He's always there. He's always putting over new guys.
There we go.
Oh,
I've never been so happy to see this guy. I've never been so happy to see Bronson Reed in my life.
Yeah, Bronson Reed. For those not watching, Bronson Reed just pulled Ciampa. Ciampa was about to get the 1-2-3, and he pulled Ciampa out of the ring before he could get the win, and is now, I guess, for lack of a better term to describe Bronson Reed, he's just there doing Bronson Reed things.
I remember when he first appeared on the main roster. Actually, he helped the Miz win his last match. It was against Dexter Lumis.
I can't stand this
last year. I'm not a big fan of Bronson Reed either, but I'm very happy to see him winning now because Miz don't need to take another L.
I can't stand Bronson Reed. I really can't. This guy looks like the one-man gang. If you guys, for wrestling old heads, he reminds me of the one-man gang. And he's just a bum. Oh, he just trashed Ciampa, and now the Miz is getting the pin. And he gets the win.
Finally, some respect to the A-lister.
Because that's what the internet wrestling community was looking for, and the WWE universe at large is looking for, is a Tommaso Ciampa versus Bronson Reed feud. Oh, you fell asleep.
I'm going to get Tommaso Ciampa versus Bronson Reed feud. I think this is just the end of it.
You think that's the end of it?
Yeah, I mean, I can see how you would think somebody would fall asleep when Bronson Reed comes out. The man is not entertaining at all. But he did have a good match with Bobby Lashley, I think.
Out of athletic big guys, hey, Haseen, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. And guys, if you're watching us, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you haven't already, Unpopular Review Wrestling. We like to talk about wrestling, lots of different shows. Mike Knox was on earlier. He does Around the Blocks with Mike Knox. He talks about wrestling, sports, all kinds of stuff. Very unique opinions. And, you know, Tuesday nights, NXT review. Right after NXT, after AEW Dynamite, there's an AEW review show. And, we're always talking about wrestling here. So if you like wrestling, you're going to love Unpopular Review. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Bronson Reed, big guy, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody says this guy's super athletic. I don't see it, but hey, they said the same stuff about Keith Lee, and I thought that Keith Lee, once he got to the main roster, looked very winded. Your thoughts on where Bronson Reed ranks as far as compared to like other big guys of his, I'm going to say the word stature.
Well, I mean, it depends on what big guys. There's not a lot of big guys out there right now. You have the Keith Lees you mentioned. Odyssey Jones comes to mind. But like, say on Raw, I mean, they have to all be in shape, right? I mean, you have Otis. I'm a big fan of Otis. I think Otis is better, right? And I know back in the past, we used to do the show, used to be a lot of very critical Otis, which shows probably a little crazy. Why is this one? Raw has been run by Rhea today.
Vince must be in charge. Yeah, they're really if you're watching Raw right now, it's Raquel and Liv were backstage being interviewed, and then Sonya and Chelsea showed up, and then now Rhea's there and she's staring down Raquel. So they're obviously setting that up is not to pivot off of Otis, because everybody's tuning in for Otis. Why do you think that's what they're going for? Is Raquel up next for Rhea at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I think that's your SummerSlam match right there. I think it's going to be Rhea and Raquel. Because the only other way they can go is Rhea and Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch is too busy in her feud with Trish Stratus. After she's freed up with that, yeah, she'll go after Rhea. But in the meantime, Rhea and Raquel is a safe bet for Raw. I'm sorry, not for Raw. The WWE Women's World Championship at SummerSlam.
Isn't that a little dangerous? I mean, we briefly talked about it on the last episode, but isn't that a little dangerous for Rhea? I mean, you're going to have Rhea going up against a strong up-and-comer in Raquel. These guys look like they're trying to push Raquel really, really hard.
It's hard. It's hard to push Raquel. She's her charisma is not there.
But look, she's wearing the belt backwards. She's smiling. What does that mean? But she's the strong one, Chris. I don't know if you know that, but she's the strong one.
I can't tell. She wearing the belt backwards is mean thing. She just like showing off her back. As far as her smiling, she's a baby face, so they always have to make her smile. But it just seems so forced to me. Um, she's too bland of a baby face to me, and that's why I don't feel like she gets a good reaction. She only gets a reaction because she's out there with Liv Morgan. Now here's somebody who I respect.
Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I like Chelsea Green too. Chelsea Green, I think, has really hit it this time around. I don't know if it's because Triple H has just been giving her the mic, or she's just, she gets it. Maybe she's getting tips from her husband Matt Cardona, but I mean, she is firing on all cylinders. On the main roster. What's your thoughts on Chelsea Green?
The maturation of Chelsea Green, who actually started here in Orlando. I don't know. I'm a fan of her work. I think she's a really good character. I'm not a fan of her in-ring work. She can go, but she plays second fiddle too much to me. But I do think that she's found her stride, so to speak, in this run with Sonya Deville, Daddy Deville, who I think is also, just like The Miz, is very underutilized. And I like to see them actually take those tag titles away from Raquel and Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I think it's time to strip them of the titles. And like you said last week, they might be transitional champions just because they had to pivot away from Shayna and Ronda.
Right, because they still want to do Raquel and Rhea Ripley, and there's no reason to have them have the tag team titles at the same time.
Yep. We were talking about Otis a couple minutes ago, and I love me some Otis. No, I don't.
Yeah, we know you do.
You said Otis and Bronson, they're in shape, and the only shape I can think of is round. I gotta say, I like the Alpha Academy lately because they've got a new manager, and it's got me.
The problem with the Alpha Academy's new team, and I don't mind the fact they went babyface. I think it's a good time for them to go babyface. I find them entertaining. I think take away Maxine Dupree's look, she sucks, but that's just my opinion. But the Viking Raiders are in there. That does not interest me. That bores me. Okay, it's boring to me.
What's her name? What's her new name? Valhalla.
Sarah Logan. I never was a fan.
Sarah Logan, but she's back.
It doesn't work. The Viking Raiders are a fine tag team, but once again, just like I said, Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez, she's just boring. They're boring. I'm bored. Stop putting them on my screen.
Yeah, they suck. They the most over that the Viking Raiders was when they were with in that feud with the Street Profits, when they were doing that Viking Olympics.
And people always talk about Vince, but that was the most entertaining because they were trying to show some charisma out of them, some personality out of them, instead of just going out there. I used to do this show with Dave. I used to talk about all the time. They've given Viking Raiders have been the main roster for 4 years now. 4 freaking years now, right? And they've given them so many gimmicks to try to get them over. They gave them pyro. They gave them catchphrases. They gave them this thing so they can get the crowd involved. Nothing worked. They're not charismatic. I appreciate you. I think you're a fine in-ring tag team. I think you will do great work in Major League Wrestling. But in the WWE main roster, you're not hyping up that crowd. You're not excited.
Chris, in the annals of WWE wrestling, and I think we've had this argument, but long time ago, I personally can't stand wrestling Vikings. It's one of Vince loves going to these wrestling Vikings every once in a while, and Viking Raiders is the latest installment. The Berserker was a wrestling Viking. Who else was a wrestling Viking? There's been so many. I can't even remember them all.
I think you're exaggerating this a little bit, but
no, I'm not. Please. There's always listen, if Bray Wyatt is something southern swampy guy,
they
Waylon Mercy before him.
Viking Raiders are pretty much their own gimmick because they want to be Vikings.
Vince loves going back to these things. I'm surprised he hasn't like retreaded Duke the Dumpster Girosi, but or Doink the Clown for that matter, or MVP.
Kaden Carter and Katana Chance.
Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They're on Monday Night Raw. Look, and Liv and Raquel, they are dancing to their entrance music. They love it. This is Raw live back.
I'm not a fan of their entrance music.
Are you a fan of Katana? Not Katana. Katana Chance. She's the one that used to be KC Cantazaro. That's her legit, her shoot name. American Ninja Warrior, right? She was on. Does it at all bother you as a wrestling fan that outsiders like Casey Cantazaro can show up to WWE, the Performance Center, get hired, and make it on the main roster?
No. What people need to realize is that WWE likes, especially now, homegrown talent. Their non-homegrown talent gets a big head because they feel like they should go, because I made it in some indie promotion in Tennessee, that I automatically need to be a main competitor on Raw or SmackDown. That's not the case, right? WWE wants you to learn their way because that's who's made them successful in the number one wrestling company in the world. That's what makes WrestleMania so hot and sought after people bid for it. SummerSlam, now people bid for Raw on the same thing. It's because they create larger-than-life characters, not you going out there and flippy, flip. No offense to you indie wrestlers, okay, because I'm a part of that.
No, you can offend them. You can offend them.
That being said,
I'm part of your circle.
WWE likes to have homegrown talent that they can mold into what they want to do. Because I keep telling people, most of their biggest superstars are homegrown talent. Roman Reigns, John Cena, The Rock, right? They took Stone Cold from a different organization after he was fired, true, but he turned into a homegrown talent. Undertaker. These are people WWE does. Very few people end up like an AJ Styles, who's made a name for themselves at another promotion and come over and still continue to keep that same name. Not a lot of people can do that, right? Look at Shawn Michaels, look at Bret Hart. However, when you look at what's her name, Katana Chance, she is somebody who's very athletic that they can mold to be where they want to be. And it actually took her a while. Right? She was in NXT for years, her and Kaden Carter.
Yep.
Kaden Carter also, as a matter of fact, the local wrestling promotion that she used to work for also was the same place Chelsea Green used to work for. When I first moved down here, they were there before they both left. But these people have paid their dues. They do very well, and they know the WWE style and what to work with. And I just think it's a very good thing, and people need to pay attention to them. Excellent victory there by Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, when she first joined the main roster, was kind of leaning into her, like, what was it, Crazy Mary indie gimmick. Yeah. And then she broke her arm and she was toast. She was let go after that. Hey, Charmaine, what's going on? I can't wait to ask her about how her manger duties are going. But that'll be later. Getting back to Chelsea Green, this second run is night and day better. And I don't know where she came up with this idea, whether it was her idea or Vince's idea or Triple H's idea of, we knew before
if it's good or not. If the fans are going to like it, it's Triple H's.
I do want to talk to you about that in a little bit, but this like Karen gimmick that she's got, where she's just like really annoying and we'll go to Adam Pearce for everything, is innovative, and she's making it click. She's getting it over, and I think that's awesome that she realized. And again, I think some of this is the learning curve of WWE. Is if you don't get over immediately and they like you, they'll give you another chance, but there's only so many chances you're going to get,
unless you're Jeff Hardy.
Unless you're Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy, even the law gives him a lot of chances. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'm watching Matt and Drew here.
Oh, and let's congratulate Matt here. Matt was able to impregnate another woman. So congratulations. Apparently his girlfriend is pregnant and is due in December. I thought I had weak pullout game, but apparently Matt Riddle is.
What are you talking about? This is like his fourth child. You should know about that number.
Oh, I do. But that's why I said that's why I've got weak pullout game, because look, that's the same thing as Matt Riddle. So congratulations, Matt. Well, not yet. I don't want to. The baby's not here yet. Chris, if you were, let me ask
Riddle for having another kid coming in later this year.
Yeah, that's what I said. But on a side note that is related, not related. Chris, if you were dating a porn star.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't you be a little sus?
Bitch, shut up before I kick you in the face again. Nobody gives a damn about that karate shit.
You know what? We're going to take a commercial break. Speaking of Mike Knox Talking Show, we're going to take a commercial break. Find out some of the rest of the shows we talk about. We'll come back. I want to actually talk about that Logan Paul segment with Logan Paul and Ricochet. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
We're going to talk about, is the NWO the greatest faction in wrestling history? Now we talk all the time about how the Bloodline is the greatest storyline in wrestling history. But what if the NWO fit as far as factions are concerned? 27 years, I'm going to take it down a little miniature pathway of their destruction, if you will, so to speak, through WCW, and find out where they rank at. Also, it's been 35 years since Shawn Michaels, if you will, daddy, debut. I want to give you, which we're going to rehash a little bit, my top 5 Shawn Michael matches of all time. Also, do ratings still matter? Like they come out with ratings every week. The Facebook groups we're all a part of all complaining, bitch, ratings don't matter. Yes, they do. That's all that matters. No, they don't. We got DVR now and streaming. What, ratings don't matter, but ratings do matter. They post them every week for a reason. I don't know what's worse, the CM Punk chants or when you're constantly singing Seth Rollins. I don't know which one's worse. I can't. Jesus Christ. Okay. Just hijack the whole damn show, why don't you?
Wow, that's Mike Knox.
You know, not for nothing. Those fans do hijack the show with their, oh, but that's Mike Knox every single Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. The Mike Knox Show right here at Unpopular Review Wrestling. Please make sure you like, love, share, and subscribe. Big Daddy Cool.
That's right, yes.
Question for you. Did you see that Logan Paul Ricochet promo?
From this week, tonight?
Yes.
I did not, but I did see that some people were calling Ricochet very bland. Now, before you cover this week's promo, I wanted to just talk because we didn't touch it last week.
Sure.
But I wanted to say that Ricochet's backstage promo last week was really good. Like I saw, he's in the red suit. He's got the gold dripping. He looks cocky and he's all like, "Yo, I'm a wrestler." Yesterday was Kevin Nash's birthday. All right. And today's Mama Me's birthday. So happy birthday, Mama Me. So, so I want to say that I was feeling him. I was like, yo, my man is working hard. He's got this new attitude where he's like, yo, I'm better than you, Logan Paul. And I felt it. And now this week happened. Chris, did you watch it?
Yeah, I definitely watched it. And let me tell you something. Ricochet.
let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Ricochet did come off a little bland, but he tried, right? He tried. It's not his forte. But this is the first time Triple H gave him a mic. And then I'll tell you what happened backstage. I got inside sources. Triple H gave him a mic. And Ricochet took the mic. He said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And then Triple H said, I need you to cut a promo on Logan Paul. And Ricochet, well, what do you want me to say? Say what come to mind so we can set up the match. Ricochet went out there. He gave it his all. Logan Paul came out, totally outclassed him as far as the charisma and on the mic. Logan Paul is really amazing at what he does. And then one thing I want to say is when they were talking, Ricochet was giving out his passionate side, which sounded a little bit like this.
No, please.
Right. He would get on his passionate side, and then the fans normally start chanting, Ricochet, Ricochet, whoever's chanting because they're doing that passion thing. It's a classic wrestling. Instead, they start chanting, Logan Paul sucks. Logan Paul then said, it's your promo, and they're still cheering and chanting about me. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Oh no, he killed this
Logan
man.
Paul's a credit. He's
my God.
Right.
Ricochet this man got buried by Ricochet
Logan
Paul.
At the end, they let Ricochet have to come up as he did that little flip he did about 4 or 5 years ago against the Velveteen Dream, where he flipped over the top rope and landed right in front of him because Logan Paul was on the ramp. And then he got the better on putting Logan Paul in his ass. But yeah. But you know what? Shout out to Ricochet. He would never got this opportunity. Logan Paul must have requested him for SummerSlam. As one-on-one match for him in SummerSlam. This is arguably the biggest match of his career.
Ricochet's biggest match.
Yeah, it's the biggest match of Ricochet's career, and he's going to lose.
Oh, next week. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Chris, but next week we're going to have a Money in the Bank rematch between Matt Riddle and Gunther. What's the over-under on offense that minutes of offense that Riddle gets?
Hopefully he gets more than he did in Money in the Bank. I don't understand this. Like this is the part. This is bad booking, right? So it has to be Vince. That's what the IWC says. I don't mind seeing Matt Riddle and Gunther again. Maybe you can make up for the Money in the Bank crap. But my issue is they made this big deal about Ludwig Paul and Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci being barred from ringside. They weren't even involved in the first match. So what are we talking about? I can see they got involved in the cost of the match. They sure borrowed. But they weren't there. They weren't needed at Money in the Bank. So why is it a big deal now? I don't get it.
Chris, I can explain this to you. Yeah. I started to explain this to you last week when you Google search Matt Riddle. You know what are some of the things that first come up? Matt Riddle's Wikipedia page. Born January 14th, 1986. Okay. Top stories. Matt Riddle and Misha Montana expecting their first child. You know what's another top story? Misha Montana debunks the idea that she isn't pregnant with Matt Riddle's baby. Oh, well, now, does WWE want to be affiliated with this? Probably not. And in the past, what has Vince done to people that have besmirched the WWE's name? He's buried them. Chris, next week is going to be a live burial.
Where do you see the besmirching
at 9 p.m. At 9 p.m., Matt Riddle's going to get buried. You might as well call The Undertaker right now because he's going to show up again to next week to take Matt Riddle's ass out.
Where do you see what do you see where the besmirching WWE's name? Where do you see it at?
He knocks up a porn star?
Who cares? It's his girlfriend.
Who told him to go on with? He could have picked anybody.
He can go over there where he wants. If that's who he wants to be with, that's who he wants to be with.
Nah, bro, nah. Come on. We might as well have been with Saraya. What's going on? This is nah. Chris.
He can be with whoever he wants. There are guys out there who date strippers. There are guys out there who date pornos. There's guys out there who date lawyers. It doesn't matter. That's who he wants to be with.
That's right. Sure. Of course. Absolutely. And if you want to date a cokehead, you can go right ahead. Of course, WWE is going to let you go, and you can now go on to AEW and live your dream dating a cokehead over there.
WWE is not letting Matt Riddle go. There's no reason to let Matt Riddle go. If he wants to date a porno star,
they're going to bury him, and then he's going to be besmirched. He's done.
Matt Riddle might take a dive a little bit because his character is not needed necessarily on the main roster, but he'll be back in no time. Maybe Matt can be with Pinky. Charmaine, why
No,
would you say that?
we'll see him in 18 months again. Buried. Trust me, from right here. You heard it on Unpopular Review, the wrestling show. Matt Riddle buried. First, you heard it here. Is Matt Riddle buried? You're going to find out tomorrow. Next week.
Not going to be buried.
Next week on Monday Night Raw, you're going to see this man get buried alive. They might as well just call it that.
I agree with the overseer, George Samuel Lewis. Matt Riddle is not going to be buried. Stop it.
He's going to be buried. Buried. Just listen, he's going to be buried just like he's burying his bones in a porn star. There you go. That's how buried he's going to get. Trust. Believe it. What were we talking about before? We were talking about burying your bones?
It was Logan Paul and Ricochet, but now we're going to talk about some other segments. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus also had a match. And actually, no, let's talk about some AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite's in a little bit of a shambles because
now they're in shambles? They've been in shambles for the last 5 years, please.
They have a blood and guts match coming up, and unfortunately, not only is Daniel Bryan possibly injured, well, now not only is Brian Danielson injured, but now that guy who takes all the L's for their group is also might be a little bit injured. So,
who's the guy that takes L's? Cesaro?
I forgot. He's a part of BC. No, Cesaro don't take L's. Cesaro just doesn't finish. Wheeler Yuta. Yes, Wheeler
Uterus. I heard, now I'm glad that you brought this up because I heard that CM Punk, good soldier. He's a ride or die guy. He was willing to step up for the team. He said, "Hey, the star, Brian Danielson is out. I'll step in. I'll step up. I'll step in." And you know what the Elite said?
Rumored. That's what the Elite said.
They said, "No thanks, buddy. We don't want to make any money." And you know what Tony Khan said? That's what he said. Because he's an idiot.
Okay, first of all, let's not do that, right? That's not what happened. Okay? What happened was that possibly CM Punk might have volunteered to do it. And Kenny Omega said sure, and the Young Bucks said no. But the rumor is, it's rumors because it's dirt sheets, I'm sorry. The rumor is that the Young Bucks are not happy with their tenure in AEW right now. Would you be happy if you have to take a back seat to everybody now, even though you practically ran the company for 3 years? And it's all because their moneymaker is somebody you don't like, is somebody you don't get along with? What?
No. That's not why they're upset. They're upset that they used to call the shots. They used their shot and their power to bury or attempt to bury the Revival, now known as FTR. And they could only do it for so long because everybody loves those guys. And they couldn't do it. They tried to besmirch that team, throw them through the mud, do all kinds of nonsense, make them look like bozos, and it didn't work. And now look at them. They're succeeding. They were just on Collision with what's his name?
Well, Punk is like they're one of their best friends, so they're going to be on Collision with Punk most of the time, but they still have to show them.
And that's fine. But you know what? They're good guys. They're solid guys. But you want these guys to be your champs, not the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are thinking about themselves. Look at the Elite. And I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan. Honestly, when he was in WWE, the stunts he pulled, I think he was better off leaving, and he left. And I don't want him back in WWE. But this dude is the bona fide moneymaker in AEW, or at least he was before he got hurt, and before this AEW brawl out thing happened, and then they started besmirching his name, tearing it up, talking shit, getting what's his name to write dirt bombs on him, Meltzer, and now look at this. This guy used to be the number one draw, no matter where they went. Now all of a sudden, he's over in Chicago. Then they go to Canada the next week, and everybody's booing him. He's the number one heel.
And
At least
he was getting cheered because he was mentioning Owen Hart, who said it was an inspiration to his wrestling career.
Chris, but you know what? No matter what, CM Punk is always number one. In Chicago, he's the number one face. Everywhere else, he's the number one heel. This guy gets reactions. This guy knows his job. And then for Omega and the Elite to just be like, nah, let's squash him. Let's try to run him out. The guy makes the company money. If this idiot, if this guy had half a brain cell, he'd know how to use CM Punk right and push him right and then get AEW over. But what's the trend, Chris?
AEW might be over because they did in a couple weeks they're selling out Wembley.
Oh, right. Because listen, this is the guy that's buying all the tickets. This guy. You're gonna see. Watch. The same time that you're gonna find out that all the internet wrestling community starts arguing about is Matt Riddle buried, you're gonna find out that Wembley's 2/3 empty. And be like, I thought they had a sellout. Oh. And then everybody's gonna blame the resellers. Oh, the resellers took a bath. No, my friend. This man took a bath. This is the guy.
This is the end of the AEW conversation we're going to have. When we come back, we're going to talk about some Bloodline storyline from SmackDown. Stay with us. You're watching them.
Let me show you something. Okay. This is my jug of water. Right?
It's disgusting.
We'll call this Keith Lee. This little guy here is Darby Allin. Right? Now watch. Watch this. Okay. I wasn't good in science class. I wasn't. But watch this. Okay? For all y'all
What? What was that?
For all that to this, see, let's try this again. This is Darby Allin. This is Keith Lee. All right, you see how that bounce? Let's do it again. Let's do it again, right? Let's do it again. Oh, okay, right? Takes away from the match for me. All right?
Let the record show that John Silver has a clean win over Keith Lee. It can be done.
John Silver actually is,
and he's like he's a little bit beefier, but he's still a small guy.
No, the beefiness. Pause. The beefiness. Size matters.
No. Not when the discrepancy is still large. Like you can be big, but if someone's still way bigger than you, it really doesn't matter.
Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin, the limitless one. Okay, now watch both of them. All right, that's what should have happened, and it didn't happen.
AEW Dynamite immediately after AEW. Join myself as well as Sheriff and Dice Man as we review AEW Dynamite, talk a little bit of Collision and Rampage with you. But right now we're talking Monday Night Raw. Actually, we're about to talk Friday Night SmackDown for what happened this past Friday Night SmackDown. While this 6-man tag match is going on Monday Night Raw on the Executive Consultant, that's Big Daddy Cool. Please make sure that you like, love, and share, and subscribe this to your YouTube Unpopular Review Wrestling. The Bloodline had a trial on Friday Night SmackDown with Roman Reigns being on trial. Judge, jury, and executioner later was said to be Jey Uso because Roman hit the low blow and fully annihilated him and Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso, which really did not make Jey Uso very happy, came back and attacked him and then challenged him for a undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, most likely happening at Summerslam. Are you excited that this is possibly, actually not possibly, this is your main event for WWE Summerslam in Detroit? Big Daddy Cool, your thoughts?
I think people should be excited about this. I think this is Roman has done a tremendous job of building up all of the Bloodline characters. Jey Uso, if I would have told you 2 years ago, the main event of SummerSlam is going to include Jey Uso, you would have laughed at me. You would have been like, in what fucking world? As a tag team wrestler, sure, I can see that. In what world Jey Uso by himself? Roman Reigns did that. You all want to criticize Roman Reigns as far as the amount of title defenses this man has had? Someone put up a stat saying Seth Rollins in the few months that he's been the champion, has already had more title defenses than Roman in the past few years. Okay, that's fine. But Roman has put over Jey Uso to the point where no lies detected. Now you can tell who is Jey and who is Jimmy. Before you couldn't do that. That was a joke, but that was legit. You couldn't tell the difference between those two. I certainly couldn't. Now you can. Now you know who main event Jey Uso is. This man has put over Sami Zayn to the point where people actually thought he was going to win a world title. Now, I could have told you that he wasn't because this man can't even find a hairbrush to comb his hair. He can't manage his own hair. How's he going to manage being our world champion? That's ridiculous. Our universal champion. Sorry. That's ridiculous. But Roman did that. Roman put over all these dudes. Made them legit stars. And now he's going to do it again. But everybody's going to get pissed off when Roman wipes the floor with Jey Uso in Detroit.
You know, I have to piggyback on what you said. I agree with you because a couple of years ago, when it was Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, people were looking like Jey Uso doesn't deserve it. It's only because of nepotism. I mean, yeah, they had good matches, but he doesn't belong in that main event scene. Now everybody wants him in that main event scene. And there are a lot of people out there who think that he should be the one to dethrone your tribal chief. Now, granted, that's not happening. Okay? They're going to have a great match, but it's not happening. You're not taking the title off of Roman Reigns and putting on Jey Uso.
That's right.
But the fact that people want to see it and the fact that people actually want to believe it is a testament to how well this storyline has worked. The rumor is now that this is all going to finally wrap up at Summerslam. I think it should. I think they've had a great couple of months here leading all the way up into this, but it does need to pretty much end after this. A lot of people also think that Solo Sikoa is going to go be the next to jump Roman Reigns and go after him. We'll see what happens. I'm interested in it. But also some rumors saying that people think Jimmy Uso will turn on Jey Uso coming up at SummerSlam. I'm interested to see that. That will be in Detroit. I'll be there for that one. Looking forward to it. Let's see some of these comments. Elvis says, "What's up, Big Daddy Cool? Jay will not win. My champion. Watching this main event between Judgment Day and Seth freaking Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn is really good. It is a good match. But look at the 6 competitors in the match. That will tell you it's going to be a good match." Christian changed his name to the unintelligent one. LOL. You are so funny, Elvis Martinez. So funny. It's so nice to see that the only interest you have in your life is watching our show. I appreciate that. Okay. Maybe one day when I fly over Colorado, I'll buy you a bottle of lotion so you can continue doing what you normally do in your time when you're not watching us. Or maybe when you are watching us. I don't know what you're yanking right now. Okay. Elvis Martinez says he's doing good, but nobody cared. All right. Oh, Finn Balor just pinned Sami Zayn.
Look at that. Finn Balor just pinned. Look, the team's back together, guys. It only took a week. They had to work together.
Going to get the title shot.
See, they're not breaking up. They're not breaking up. They're working cohesively. Look at them. They're looking at each other. They're looking at each other. They're gonna hug each other right here. Finn Balor, Damian Priest. They're looking at each other. Look at that. See, you guys thought they were breaking up. They're stronger than ever. Come on, guys. See, y'all were tricked. Y'all were tricked. See, look. See, Rhea's doing her Rhea thing.
Rhea's doing her Rhea thing. Look menacing.
Rhea's doing her Rhea thing. Damian Priest is doing his Kevin Nash thing. I was thinking this the other day. Damian Priest, what's up, George? Good to see you, man. I'm glad Vlad is doing his thing. Julio Rodriguez is a beast, though. I was thinking, Damian Priest reminds me a lot of Kevin Nash. The height, just the way he looks like Big Daddy Cool right there.
Well, his inspiration actually is Scott Hall and Undertaker.
Well, I see that he steals the Razor's Edge. Sorry, not steals. I'm sure he asked for permission from Scott when he was alive to use it, but he seems like that type of dude. George says, nope, they're splitting up. George, I don't like you disagreeing with me all this time. You disagreeing with me about Riddle being buried. The man's going to be buried. George, you're going to be wrong, all right? Stop with this nonsense. And do me a favor. Find another sweater vest, please. Play it out with your red checkers or whatever you got. Whatever you got going on over here. What's going on over here? George, Priest has healthier quads than Nash. Oh, this is true. This is true. You can't. No lies.
First of all, he's not as cool as Kevin Nash. Second of all, I think Kevin Nash is a little bit more charismatic.
Chris, I want to bring up a picture that I saw floating on the internet this week, and we were just talking about AEW, and we pivoted to the Bloodline. So I want to bring both of those conversations together through this one meme that I saw.
I did see this.
On Collision this past week, we had FTR versus Jay White and who's this other guy? The mailman? What's his name? Lance Archer. He's not Lance Archer. Chris, you don't even know.
It's actually embarrassing. Oh, God. What is his name?
His name is Cactus Jack.
No, somebody's going to tell me in the comments. Come on, help me out.
Come on. Yeah, help me out. Just Jay.
God, what's his name?
It's Dash. It's Cash. It's Jay White. And
what is his
Animal
name?
from Muppet Babies.
Juice Robinson. Thank you, George.
Juice Robinson. There you go. Finally. Now, everybody saw this match and said, oh, this was a 5-star match. Every goddamn thing on AEW is a 5-star match. Even Sting going through a table is 5-star match. So they said this is 28 minutes of gold class wrestling. Gold class. Okay, sure thing. I think you got some fake gold going on. But compared to what happened on SmackDown, which is 28 minutes of teenage melodrama. Chris, your thoughts on the legitimacy of this meme and its worthiness?
And Juby Tall almost posted it on our social media. This is stupid. Right? This is just stupid. I see why you said that because honestly speaking, I felt, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong if you're not frozen. But
I'm not frozen.
You look like you're frozen for a second. I felt like that Bloodline segment did go a little too long. And you could actually see it if you watch back on SmackDown that they cut a lot of segments time from a lot of stuff. Namely the women's fight. Asuka, you only got a chance to say nobody's very fast. Bianca had to come out, Charlotte had to come out. And then there was another match I think they kind of cut. But anyway, instead of putting 28 minutes of this and 25 minutes of this or vice versa, whatever like that, what you should put is 400,000 people and 2.5 million people. That's the stats that you really need to pay attention to.
Right.
Because it was funny when I was watching it, and I believe I was at Mike Knox's place when I was watching it. And I said, I bet this is going to be one of the highest rated segments they've had all year. And they've been killing it with the numbers lately for those segments and on social media. But it was, and you can see why. It felt big, especially after Roman taking that L last Saturday. So I see why they're saying it, but you knew it was just an AEW mark who did that, who just wants to sit here.
Oh, without a doubt. You want to work everybody, all the WWE guys.
I'm sorry, there's no comparison. The match, that tag team match on Saturday was good. And shout out to Collision. I think that's a fantastic show. I love the commentary team. I love everything about Collision, but the time slot. Saturdays nights do not work. You're better off taking your show and putting it on Thursdays for Impact. I'm sorry. And I don't want it up against Impact, but this is the only slot you have left. This is the only way it's going to work. And it's really going to be a testament come SummerSlam when you are up against SummerSlam and more people rather watch SummerSlam on Peacock than your show on TNT.
Yep. I don't think you said anything wrong or out of line there. I think you hit everything on. So we're just going to go through the comments right here. George says one was actually a wrestling match. One was only a segment. You can't compare the two. I think what George was trying to type here was exactly your sentiment. One was actually seen by a bunch of people, and the other one was seen by a bunch of nerds. A few nerds. Not even. Charmaine says, ding dong, you're wrong, George. Oh, good. WrestleMania season is heating up between George and Charmaine. Can't wait. George Lewis. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus the Judgment Day on NXT will be on tomorrow night. I wonder if Seth freaking Rollins will be there as well. Tune in and find out.
Yeah, tune in and find out. And, of course, watch the NXT episode immediately after.
He says Jey Uso is not going to beat Roman Reigns.
No.
Accurate. George wants us, name a WWE match from last week that was better than FTR versus Bullet Club Gold.
If you're counting the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I would say the main event between Solo and Roman versus the Usos. I think because the storyline was a lot better. But if you're only counting the main roster shows being Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, no, I can't think of a match that was better.
I can. Definitely from 7 days ago on Monday Night Raw, you had a match between another tag team match, which was spectacular. You had the Alpha Academy and Maxine Dupree versus your favorite team lately, the Viking Raiders with Valhalla.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how everybody's all cheering for Maxine Dupree, and she gave some of the worst.
She is so amazing. She
No,
can do
but
no
she
wrong.
gave some of
This
the worst.
woman is a God's gift.
She can't do wrong. I saw her do wrong. Them arm drags were wrong. No. I don't understand why everybody's cheering for. I don't get it. Yeah, she is hot. I'll give you that. She is.
Oh! What happened? I can't hear you anymore. Hello? What? No? What? You love her so much? Here, let me voice over for Chris. She's the best wrestler ever. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm not at a loss. I will tell you. Okay, she is not good. That hip toss was not good. Why are we cheering for her? Yes, she's attractive. Her character might be decent, but her in-ring skills. Come on, sis.
Come on, Chris. Bro. No, Chris. Did you see that worm? She got that worm.
Oh, I even forgot all about the worm. I forgot all about the worm. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Here's imagine this triple threat match. Okay? Imagine this triple threat match. Maxine Dupree versus B-Fab, right? Versus Scarlett.
Lana.
I don't know. Lana.
Scarlett.
And I like B-Fab too. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them, but just they're not good in the ring. They're not. That was a horrible arm drag. That was a horrible worm.
Look, finally, George Lewis has come to his right mind. Look at this. I'm going to give Maxine Dupree credit. She's trying. See?
Yeah, she's trying to learn how to do an arm drag.
You're so wrong. She did a worm. Can you do a worm?
No, and I don't try.
Show me with the pencils. Maxine Dupree trying to do a hip toss.
No. They're not stiff enough.
Listen, Maxine Dupree make a lot of people stiff. If you catch what I'm saying. Guys, you're watching Unpopular Review. If you are watching the show, whether that's on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, please make sure you leave a like. Please make sure you follow Unpopular Review. If you like wrestling, you're going to love Unpopular Review. Please make sure you like and subscribe.
They're Pretty Deadly. Do you think they're going to get a title shot? I don't understand what it means, but Pretty Deadly just had a title shot, and they had a spectacular entrance, right? But they had a spectacular entrance, and they lost. I don't know who's taking those titles away from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
I can't stand. I don't know, man. Looks like Finn and Priest might do it if they got the pin this week.
No, but I think I want them to get new championship titles though. Like I'm sick of the two that they have. Unless they're going to split it back up, which I prefer them to do that because there's a lot of tag teams on Raw and SmackDown. And the Creed brothers about to come up.
Oh no! Please stop doing. Why you keep always? I feel like for the last several years, at least the last year of shows, I've been removed from Unpopular Review for at least I think over a year, right? Like at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
And a year ago, you were trying to make the Creed brothers a thing.
Oh, they're great. They're fantastic.
Okay, go ahead. Name me their top 5 matches. Go ahead.
Now, here we go again. Right? I don't know why you're asking me, but I'm about to Google it.
No, go ahead. School me. Teach me about the Creed brothers. Maybe I'm not onto something. Maybe I'm slow. Go ahead.
You are. You might be. And Julius Creed has some great future ahead of him too.
Can Julius Creed do a worm?
I'm sure he can.
Like smoother. Can he make it look like Maxine Dupree's?
I mean, I can make. I mean, my daughters can go in there and just like bounce around.
I don't know, Maxine Dupree is something else. They taught her how to do a hip toss 3 weeks ago backstage in front of Becky Lynch, and even Becky Lynch was like,
"You know what? I could tell that it was 2 or 3 weeks ago because she has perfected shit."
She's trying, Chris. She's trying.
They had some good tag team matches. I'm going to say the Creed Brothers, when they came up to the main roster, they should get an opportunity. I agree. Steve, can you do the worm?
Can I do the worm? Absolutely.
Are you going to do another
5 shots of
promo
tequila.
battle? Not me. I want to be a judge. We are working on getting you a promo battle, like we've been working on getting a promo battle for the last 2 years. Sooner or later, we're going to get one going. As far as you being,
Charmaine, we're still banned in several different countries because of the last promo battle. So,
which one was that? That was Dylan.
Turkmenistan is we're banned in Turkmenistan. No, we can't even step foot there because it was so vile and dirty. Come on, guys! I see you guys. There's at least multiple heads in here. I need some likes, some follows. Again, all I see is one. I'm gonna shout this guy out. Who's this guy out? Watch it be Chris Harris. Yep, it's Chris Harris. Oh, there we go. Look, the number's going up. It's 2 now.
Oh my God.
George, thank you. About damn time. This is how you get cheap pops.
Right here in Buffalo, New York.
Right here in Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Chris Harris and George Peterson for liking. I'd ask George Lewis to subscribe, but he's definitely already subscribed.
I'm sure
I know for a fact he is.
It's good. It's good.
Thank
Chris
you.
Harris liked it because Stephen Pena surely did.
Oh no, Stephen Pena doesn't check Facebook until there's somebody to fight with.
I believe that Kaden Carter and Katana Chan should go for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, not Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, even though they're the ones who picked up the victory tonight. Well, no. Kaden Carter and Katana Chan but they've been champion. They've been tag team for years now, so I can see why they have good chemistry. I didn't think they were good at first, but they do work. What happened on Raw? YouTube.
We can talk about it. I mean,
we talked about some of it already. I mean, Judgment Day pretty much ran Raw. They were on almost every segment.
That's right.
Cody Rhodes came out and challenged Brock Lesnar to a match in Survivor Series. Big shock.
That's right. But
burning down.
Ricochet did some flippy shit.
Ricochet did flip over the top rope to confront Logan Paul and knock Logan Paul on his ass. But Logan Paul and Ricochet said they want to see each other sometime soon. That's going to be a match at SummerSlam.
He got very angry at Logan Paul because Logan Paul buried him, just like WWE's burying Matt Riddle.
No, Matt Riddle is not getting buried.
Oh, Ronda came out for revenge. Want to talk about that?
I forgot about that. Ronda Rousey came out to beat Shayna Baszler's ass, but Shayna got away.
I told you about this last week, man. This might be the match that I'm looking forward the most to at SummerSlam because I don't think it's going to be the quickest, but they are shoot fighting. Like they are shoot fighting. Like they are not pulling punches. They are like, I mean, I'm sure they're pulling punches a little bit, but bro, they are really like drag out, like choking each other out. Like they really shoot fighting. Like
I forgot about this. Seth Rollins, when he came out in that first segment, was eating some buffalo chicken. How disrespectful to Dirty Dom.
Why is that disrespectful to Dirty Dom?
Because Dirty Dom was talking and he's eating chicken. That's disrespectful.
But he's in Buffalo. Wouldn't it be disrespectful not to eat the chicken?
Buffalo's known for chicken?
Buffalo wings?
Oh, I just thought because it was spicy. And, you go to Buffalo and you go down the wrong street, it gets a little spicy. Their crime rate is really gone up in that series.
Who's mugging you? The cows? There's nobody in Buffalo. The football team is barely
Buffalo
there.
has 274,000 people who live there.
Must be meth heads. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Don't catch me in Buffalo. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. I'm not sure if I'm interested. Just look at the clips, George. Look at the clips of these guys fighting. They are legit. If you can't tell me that you're a fan of wrestling and then watch these fucking clips and be like, oh, this sucks. This is not Maxine Dupree in the ring with these two. Maxine Dupree. They are really like fighting. This is like watching my kids fight. Like they try to really put each other into chokeholds.
Do you have some kind of dungeon?
I do. I'm like Stu Hart. I try to get them all in the dungeon. George says Ronda's going to put over Shayna as she should, without a doubt.
That's not what it says.
Ronda's gonna out Shayna. Is that what he's trying to say?
No, you read it the way he was trying to say it. That's not the way he typed it.
No, I know. Could you argue Dom is more over as a heel than Roman Reigns?
In the major.
And that's Charmaine. Chris, what do you think about this comment here? Is Dom more over as a heel than Roman Reigns?
Overall, no. I think Dom is more of a heel because people just love to boo him. It's not go away heat, but people do love to boo him. They want to see how loud they can get to make sure that he does not talk. It's a game for them. Not so much when he's in the ring. Roman, however, can get in the mic and be in the ring, and it's amazing how well he does in the ring. Because as I say every single week, when you look at a Roman Reigns match, especially this year, but when you look at a Roman Reigns' match, the first 5 to 10 minutes, he barely touches his opponent. That match he had with Sami Zayn, he really did not touch his opponent for almost 10 freaking minutes. He just goes around without a microphone, mind you, and talks crap to a crowd. That meme that was the most famous part of his Money in the Bank match was him sitting on the ring apron talking about how England is the dumbest place of all time and they should never go there again. Yep. He is that good as a heel. So overall, yeah, Roman Reigns is a better heel than Dominic Mysterio. But to generate that heat, Dom might be number one. It might be him. Some days I might say it's that guy for AEW. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, it's oh my God, he's the guy that teamed up with it's Juice Robinson. There you go. Juice Robinson.
The guy, Takeshita. I forgot his name. Somebody will remind me. He used to be Kenny Omega, and then Logan Paul's the only other person I can put up there.
Hangman Page.
No, it's some
guy. MJF.
No, I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank with AEW people right now.
Well, I wonder why. They're gonna sell out Wembley. They're gonna sell out Wembley.
Thank you, Don.
And you can't remember who it is. He can't even spell it.
Well, I will say this,
Don Cajas.
And fans, y'all can chip in on this anytime you want, but I'm interested in seeing what the main event of All In is going to be in Wembley. Like, what is your selling point?
Oh, I got you. This guy. That's your main event. Is that guy?
Who is your main event match going into All In that's going to be?
It's going to be Don Cajas.
Their world champions who? Who's their world champion?
MJF.
MJF versus Adam Cole? I don't know.
That's going to put the butts in the seats. They're best friends now.
Hey, that was an inspiring segment on Dynamite. That was like one of my favorite segments in Dynamite history.
Oh, stop it. They put trash on for about an hour and 40 minutes, and then they give you something that's somewhat entertaining, and then you think it's like gold. Again, these idiots.
Yeah, Jerry Don Callis.
These idiots with the 28 minutes of gold.
Have you watched an episode of Collision
yet? Yeah. And then you know why they call it Collision? Because I feel like crashing into my bed after I watch that shit.
George Samuel Lewis wants to know how long do you think that Toni Storm will be AEW Women's World Champion?
I don't know. I want to say probably for the next year. I mean, who else is going to beat her? Nyla Rose? That's a nobody. Go ahead. Who else? They don't like what's her name? Thunder Rosa. They don't like Thunder Rosa.
Is she on Collision?
She's going to be on Collision because she can't stand half of that AEW locker room.
Apparently, if you have a problem with your locker room, you get put in Collision.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that.
Yeah. That's Tony Khan's house. Chris, I want to talk to you about, and then we're going to wrap up soon. So guys, if you have any final questions or comments about WWE, AEW, please make sure you drop them. And while you're dropping your questions and comments, please drop those like and subscribes. George says, Jade Cargill, I want to see her go after the AEW Women's World Championship. Please. She's leaving AEW. She knows where her bread is going to be buttered, and that's WWE. I want to share a picture with you. Last week we started talking about this, and I want to keep talking about it this week because WWE is good at cross promotion. Their brand is everywhere. You know what? Tonight is the Home Run Derby, and I guarantee you that the Home Run Derby champion is going to have what, Chris?
WWE World Championship.
A WWE World Championship with the universal title style, with a big WWE, like you said last week, because they want to promote WWE. It's a global brand. They want WWE to be as synonymous with sports entertainment as much as Disney is with children's stuff, and they're working it. They're working it. This movie, Unpopular Review not only does wrestling reviews, but we also do movie reviews. And there's an upcoming movie coming up with Margot Robbie as Barbie. Any interest in seeing the Barbie movie?
Not at all.
It looks hilarious to me. I'm going to go see it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
But they had the premiere I think a night or two ago, and guess who was there? Oh, Liv Morgan was there. And look, there's Liv Morgan. There's Margot Robbie. They both look like sisters. Look at them.
Hopefully she's considering a career in Hollywood and she'll leave WWE.
Look at them. Well, great. Now, let me ask you this, Chris. I know you're wearing shades, so it might be a little difficult. But in this picture, where's the AEW stars? Go ahead.
Well, is this show produced by TNT?
No.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to see it.
Oh, okay. Well, what about this tall guy? Oh, no, he's too tall to be in AEW. AEW only is a house of vanilla midgets. Chris, this is my problem. AEW, nobody, stop with this nonsense. This is not competition. Every week we get on the show, it's not goddamn competition. WWE is in the stratosphere, and AEW is ants underneath a rock. Please, stop with the comparisons. It's not the same. It's not the same league. Please stop. Thank you. That was arguable. My PSA.
That's arguable.
What?
I think it's their biggest competition they've had since World Championship Wrestling.
What does that mean? WCW, hold on a second. That is a factual statement. Yes, this is the most credible, sincere competition that they've had in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But WCW almost put Vince McMahon out of business. AEW is not doing anything near that.
Right, I agree.
AEW is Impact Wrestling.
I can't say that because I think that AEW is a bigger threat because they have money.
No, it's not. What's a threat? You think AEW is going to put WWE out of business?
No, not at all. I think.
Okay, so then explain what is to be threatened by.
Well, I mean threat. I mean, so they do have to consider that a wrestler will leave them to go to AEW because AEW can match whatever WWE's paying them with not paying more.
I can see that. I can see that if you're Ricochet, if you're Seth Rollins, if you're who's another vanilla midget, or looks like a vanilla midget. Seth Rollins is not a vanilla midget, by the way. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens is probably the biggest big guy that they'll sign because this guy. Because this Drew McIntyre is not going to AEW. Stop with this nonsense. He is too big for AEW.
Kevin Owens not going to AEW. Sami Zayn not going to AEW.
None of them will because they know that they're making a shit ton of money hand over fist in WWE. But this guy has such a hard-on for ROH talent that he'll want Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
I figure out who's going to sell out women. Legitimately sell out.
Who?
Legitimately sell out. I think it's all about Mercedes.
You think Mercedes Moné is going to show up and do what?
Make everybody talk about Sasha Banks because that's what she's going to do.
I'm sorry.
She'll be the hottest thing in AEW.
She will for 2 weeks, just like Saraya, just like Toni Storm, and then be a bum like all of them are.
Sasha
All
Banks
of
is
them.
one of the greatest of all time. I want to see that.
Sasha Banks is one of the greatest of all time. One of our own videos on YouTube, is Sasha Banks a wrestling icon, is on one of the highest viewed videos that we have on YouTube. Sasha Banks is a wrestling icon. Mercedes Moné is not. There is a clear distinction of who those two individuals are.
George says, turn on AEW, will see talent like Kenny Omega, Okada, Will Ospreay, Brian Danielson. No one on WWE's roster touches any of those four with actual wrestling entertainment. Seth Rollins, I disagree with you. AJ Styles, I disagree with you.
Hold on. Put that comment back up for me, please.
There we go.
Turn on AEW right now and see talent like Kenny Omega, Okada. First off, Okada, the second name out of your mouth isn't even a full-time AEW guy. He shows up once. In 2 years, they had a Forbidden Dork show, and he showed up once.
And lost.
And that's the guy? That's the guy you say is Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay ain't an AEW guy. Brian Danielson's injured. He's broke his goddamn arm because he's an idiot. So I'm going to turn on AEW and I'm going to see that type of talent. The one name you got is Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega ain't nowhere near the talent or the entertainer that Seth Rollins is. Stop with this nonsense. Fucking worked up. I'm worked up like this old lady right here. Look at this. Fucking George and his fucking comments. If it's not one George fucking tormenting me tonight, it's a goddamn other George. Guy's working me up enough. Can't believe it. George says, George Lewis, the smarter George tonight, just saying, Mercedes Moné, I don't see her in AEW. Thank you. Nobody sees her in AEW because, really, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Triple H is actually paying her money to stay away from AEW. I would not be surprised.
WWE definitely be back in WWE. I'm not sure what that means because WWE will bring her to come back. Yes, she will definitely be back sooner or later. Adam Cole Baby is a good choice to talk about as far as superior wrestlers. And you're bugging if you think Seth Rollins is a better wrestler than Kenny Omega. I think Seth Rollins is a better wrestler than Kenny Omega as well.
Let's listen. Seth Rollins has done it for a longer time, has done it with different gimmicks, and he has gotten over on a wider scale. This man has put people over. Seth Rollins took an L to Cody Rhodes, made him he could have big timed Cody Rhodes. He could have been the guy that said, you know what? Fuck this guy. He fucking left. I stayed. And I fucking made money here. And this guy said, fuck you, Vince. He could have told Vince, I ain't laying down for shit. And he didn't do that. He said, you know what? For the people that don't know AEW and don't know American Nightmare, I'm going to lay down for this man. And he didn't do it once. He did it twice. He did it 3 times. You see Cody Rhodes over now because of Seth Rollins.
She will be back in WWE. She's spreading her wings and doing things, but she'll be back. Probably actually in like a year. You're
George
not
says,
listening.
I'm not wrestling. And he spells out wrestling. Wrestler. But that's part of wrestling. Seth Rollins can put on different types of clinics. Seth Rollins will wrestle any style. That's the other thing about Seth Rollins. You want to talk about pound for pound wrestler? If he's in there with Ricochet, he will adapt his style. If he's in there with a big guy like Braun Strowman, he will adapt his style. Roman Reigns, he will adapt the style. This man, no matter what, he can be in the ring with Bronson Reed and he changes the style. You saw him with Omos. He's a different guy. Like, pay attention to the matches when they're happening and not these goddamn dirt sheets, please. You've been my friend for like 12 years, my man. And I hope that some of this has rubbed off on you because I know you're better than this. Stop with this, Seth Rollins. I know I'll be the first guy that will admit that I didn't see shit in Seth Rollins. I stood with this man, George, in the Continental Airlines Arena, and he was like, yo, I got to get the Shield's autograph. And I said, these 3 bums? Please. They ain't going to be nobody. And I was right about one of them, but not the other.
No, you were. They all were somebody.
No. Listen, Dean Ambrose ain't nobody. He a bum. Stop it.
He's a former multi-time world champion.
Listen, that doesn't mean anything. Great. What's his name? The Great Khali is a champion. What does that mean?
He's not multi-time.
Could have been. You know who's not a champion? Kurt Hennig. How about that? $1 Million Man. He's not a champion.
Mr. Perfect was a world champion. AEW. AWA. I'm sorry, AWA.
Hillbilly Jim wasn't a champion.
Hillbilly Jim was not champion. Correct.
This is crazy. No one's talking promo. No one's talking entertainment. I just told you a bunch of stuff about wrestling. I'm talking about wrestling matches. Kenny Omega can wrestle one style. That's it. Moxley will be the first guy. No, New Japan ain't that dumb. They ain't gonna give him that fucking title. Please, you out of your mind. George is saying Moxley will be the first guy to hold all 3 major titles: WWE, AEW, New Japan.
I'm interested in George's opinion on Eddie Kingston.
And guess what? Wait till he types it out. And even if Moxley does, guess what? He'll be the first guy that wins all 3 championships and is still a fucking zero, a nobody. You know who's more over than Jon Moxley? Charmaine's daughter, Jenny. Say hi. Hi, Jenny. There you go.
If you know how to pronounce it.
Of course, she tells me every time we see her at karaoke. She tells me about Jenny. Do you know that's my daughter? George says Eddie Kingston is currently on the best. Oh, please. Have you seen Eddie Kingston? He says Eddie Kingston is currently on the best run of his entire career. George, have you seen Eddie Kingston? This man ain't running anywhere. Please stop. I need to stop at this. I think it's time to go. This is ridiculous, Chris. This is wild. This has just turned into a wild show. We talked about almost everything. Is there anything that we missed, Chris?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Not to your knowledge. Listen, look at this. We're going to leave you with this comment right here.
Who's Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here on Unpopular Review. Please make sure you join us tomorrow on Unpopular Review Entertainment as we review both Indiana Jones movies and Unpopular Review Wrestling as we bring you NXT immediately after NXT with Wrestling Doll as well as Bad Guy Jack. And then join myself on Wednesday immediately after AEW with Dice as well as the Sheriff when we talk about AEW Dynamite. For this man, though, we will see you right here.
Hold on. There's one more comment. George says, say that to his face at Hog High Intensity. Well, I'm not going to be there because one Hog show is good enough for me this year. I went to go see what's his face, and he disappointed me. But it doesn't surprise me that a guy like Eddie Kingston is going to be at a show that's called Hog. Thank you very much, everybody. We're here every Monday night going forward. Big Daddy Cool, the executive consultant. I'm going to point this way. And thank you, man. If you had fun, if you had some laughs, make sure you like and subscribe and share the podcast. Share your podcast with your wrestling buddies and tell them that we're funny guys. Anything else, Christopher?
Charmaine didn't know think you knew how HOG. We'll see you right here next week on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody. No, it's the wrong one. But still.